Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
Hey guys, what's going on? Leslie here, and hopefully you guys enjoyed that intro. I know it's been a while since most of you guys have seen that, but yeah, that is correct. I am going to be doing another date night with Lyrical. I haven't done this in a long time. I think since probably about March, and the last one I did, I think it was We Were Soldiers. So normally what I normally do for date night with Lyrical, I basically suggest a movie that I am currently watching that night, or I watched the day before, and I decided to just go ahead and let you guys know what I was watching, and tell you guys a little bit about the movie. And maybe if you guys have seen the movie, comment in the comment section below. Let me know how you felt about this movie. Did you think it was good? Did you think it was bad? Or what else? This is basically me putting two things into one. Gaming and entertainment. Which is like movies. Two things that I love. Especially movies. I love watching movies. If you guys see my other channel, you'll see my whole Blu-ray collection, movie collection, and TV show collection. I love freaking entertainment. I'm just so big into entertainment. But, as you can tell from the title of the screen, I will be doing Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Yes, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. If you guys have never heard of this movie, sorry, not TV show. If you have never heard of this movie, where the hell have you guys been? This is probably one of my favorite top 10 movies. Yes, top 10 is up there with Barney and Friends. I mean, this movie is amazing. So what I normally do in the beginning, I'll tell you guys a little bit about the movie, and then I'll go ahead and get into my discussion about the movie. It's not going to be like a review, but most of you guys should have already seen this since this movie is almost 10 years old. So let's go ahead and get into that. Basically a little bit about this movie. It was released in 2005, which means I was like 15 at the time, so I wasn't even old enough. Well, this is a PG-13 movie, so I was old enough to watch this. Basically, a little bit about the synopsis is a bored married couple is surprised to learn that they are both assassins, hired by competing agencies to kill each other. Now, that is pretty effed up. Like, they're both assassins, and they're hired to kill each other. Now, they've been married for about 5 or 6 years here. And, so within 5 or 6 years, I'm pretty sure they gotta love each other in order to stay together for 5 or 6 years. Like, I would not stay together with somebody if I did not love them enough to be married to them for 5 to 6 years. And then this movie's directed by Doug Liman. It stars Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt, and Adam Brody. This basically is an action / comedy / romance. And like I told you guys before, this is actually rated PG-13. So if you're under the age of 17, you can actually watch this movie. I actually got this movie on Blu-ray during... No, I did. Yeah, I think during Black Friday. But it was actually shipped to my house. So I actually love this movie. It's the first time I ever watched it on Blu-ray. But I'll talk about that towards the end of this movie. And one of the things I would like to go ahead and discuss with you guys really quick, like one of my favorite lines or scenes from the movie, is basically based on when they're in the car and they're running from the people, and they have a couple lines, they throw a couple lines at each other and they discuss each other. So I'm going to read those to you real quick. It's going to start off with John Smith, and then you can go ahead and play by the conversation, I guess, or whatever the case may be. So this is John Smith, which is Brad Pitt, his line. This is during the car chase. I never told you, but I was married once before. What's wrong with you? You're what's wrong with me, John. It was just a drunken Vegas thing. Oh, that's better. That's so much better. What's her name and social security number? No, you're not gonna kill her. And that's one of my favorite lines from that movie. Because, like I said, they were going at it. He ends up, during this car chase, their, bullets are flying. They couldn't possibly die. And he just comes up with, I never told you, but I was married before. So Jane basically gets mad, and she slams on the brakes, and then she punches him, and it was like, what did she say after she punched him? You're what's wrong with me, because he asked her, what's wrong with you when she slammed on brakes? Because, what the hell, what are you doing? So she punches him or whatever, and was like, you're what's wrong with me, and then that's when they get into that little spat, or whatever the case may be. She wanted to know her social security number and her name, so she can go ahead and kill her, because they're both hired assassins. So that's a little bit about the movie. That's one of my favorite lines in this movie, one of my favorite scenes in the movie. I mean, there's plenty of other scenes in this movie, but that's just too much to get into, and it'll be a long video if I actually got into the different scenes that I like in this movie. Now let's go ahead and get into my overall review. Not like a review, but what I liked about the movie and what I did not like about the movie. So last night was the first night that I actually watched Mr. and Mrs. Smith on Blu-ray. Now most of you guys that follow me on Instagram, you saw me post a picture of me with Mr. and Mrs. Smith in my hand, about to watch this movie. So, like I said, it was the first time I ever watched it on Blu-ray. I watched it, the first time I watched it was on DVD, and I didn't go to the movie theaters to watch this. I watched this on DVD. So, the picture quality, it didn't really look like it changed as much. Excuse me. I mean, the stuff was still the same. I mean, the sound was the same, the colors and everything, the acting was the same. But what brought me back to, like, memories of watching this movie, because keep in mind, it's been almost 10 years since I watched this movie. Because I didn't currently own it on DVD or anything like that. I just recently got it, and then I saw it on TV, but it's not as good as watching it on TV because you're not going to bleep out the cuss words and all that kind of stuff, and that's not good. That's like bleeping out curse words in a CD. Like, if you go to Walmart and you buy a CD that has curse words in it, like, say, for instance, a Drake CD or a Lil Wayne CD, it's going to sound dumb because every couple lines is going to be like, yep, because they cuss a lot. So, I wouldn't buy a CD from, that's basically what I'm saying. That's basically an example of what it'll sound like if you watch it on TV or you buy a CD that has a lot of curse words in it from Walmart. So, like I said, the graphics and stuff wasn't like a drastic change. A little bit. One of the first things that I thought about when I watched this movie is, like, it took place in a counselor's thing. The first scene was in a counselor's place, and they were talking about marriage, and they were going back and forth. So it's based on, like, basically telling a story. They're in a marriage counselor's office, and they're telling a story about how they got married, how they met, and all that kind of stuff. And I thought it was a little bit strange, a little bit different, a little bit outside the box. I didn't really expect that to happen. And then, when I was watching it, I was laughing to myself because this is funny. I haven't really seen this in a long time. So it brings back memories. And then all of a sudden, I thought about Date Movie because they imitated this whole entire movie, in which I'll probably do a review of that. But that's a little bit of basically about what it is. It's one of my favorite movies. They had a lot of action in it, and it was crazy how they didn't know that they were both assassins and how they played it to each other, how they were arguing back and forth. It was like an actual married couple, even though they're actually really married. But I mean, it was so real that I kind of felt it in the sense of people arguing back and forth with one another, because it was so, like, powerful in the way that they were staring at each other, and it was just crazy. So you guys got to check this out for yourself. And if you guys enjoyed this episode of Date Night with Lyrical, don't forget to tomahawk that like button, subscribe for more videos to come, and I will definitely be bringing out some more date nights for you guys to check out new movies. So I'll talk to you guys later.